Hello and welcome everybody to Blue Garden Cottage. It's lovely to have you along, and especially new welcome to the new subscribers. And as you know, it is the very last day today of 2020. People are happy to see the end of 2020 and hope for a much better year in 21. It may not be so for the first few months of the year, and it may not be so for the whole year, but because of this year, hopefully we all will have a completely different outlook and new hope. There are new opportunities. Here at Blue Garden Cottage, as you know, this week, as I said to you in the last video, this week would be my week of reviewing the past year and planning for the next as far as the homesteading cottage is concerned, and all the things that we do here, plans regarding our self-reliance journey, and that's been going on for quite a while. And this year, this coming year, having been this turning point, which this year has been, 2020 has been a turning point. It has been spoken of in so many circles, in so many different aspects, as a reset button. Whether that be in our personal lives, whether it be in our environmental situation, as far as the planet goes, as far as politics goes, this year has been a kind of turning point where we turn the leaf on the way we've done things before to a new way. So I'm going to step on to show you, or rather explain to you, because I'm not going to show you all the details, some of the things in the, well, anyway, I'll get to that and we'll show you. As you know by now, I have a number of journals. I love writing, I love planning, I love stationery, and all those things come together at this time of the year. So I am really happy, set for the next year. My new diary for the following year, ready, set up. I just have to transcribe all the essential contact information, little thoughts that I like to keep with me. Not that it helps, because I don't really carry a handbag. I can't stand carrying handbags. It's just more stuff to cumber me while I'm out and busy. But I check this every morning, as well as you know, the Kanban board. So this is something I have local with me wherever I go in the house. The Kanban is one permanent station that I make a point of looking at. And this helps me to amalgamate both the personal to-dos and the homestead to-dos. And it also helps with correlating what's going on in the Kanban board and everyday stuff. You also know that I have my garden journal and my homestead journal. Now, the homestead does include all the plans for the gardening part of the homestead, but this is like the business plan kind of thing to do with all of the aspects of homesteading, and the journal of keeping track of what we are achieving, what we haven't done yet, what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. That, you know what that's about by now. The gardening journal is completely separate. That contains the drawings and the plans for both the front and the back gardens. And it has the narrative of the plans, and then little journal entries every month or so, which I should really do, and I plan to do more regularly and consistently this coming year, every single month, to do an update in my journal of the things achieved, the weather conditions, what plants we've grown and harvested, any problems there as far as pests control goes, as far as wildlife and nature goes. So just a general, you know what a garden journal is, and that is what it's going to be. That is part of that. You've seen my drawings before. I showed you. I'll put a link in the right hand corner of the video, so you can link to the other video where I did these drawings, and that was almost a year ago actually, I think. And some things, these are my drawings that help me to think. And on the back of each drawing, I've got the list of to-dos. I've scratched out what has been done and ticked or changed, and altered a few things. And the front garden, as you can see, we have the crossed metal arches in the middle of the circle. That has changed because in the last storm now it's been completely damaged, wrecked. So within the next month we'll be building a new pergola, a wooden pergola, which would make something more permanent and structurally sound than the metal arches we have. As you can tell, I've also put the plans for the stones around the front, which you have seen. I've shown you a photograph or a video before with collecting stones, big, large pebbles to line the paths with to make it a bit more tidy. So you've seen that. I've altered that drawing that way. In the front, I had planned on putting the composters we had along the one wall, the neighbour's one wall for his garage. But we've changed that now. The composters are, as you've seen in the last video, we've built across the area because it was just too narrow. So we changed that. We will change the plans for the arches that go across. It'll be an arbor, a bit like a trellis, but right the way across by the ramp and the path to the front door. So that's going to change. And excuse me. So that's going to change. In the back garden, the veranda stays the same, just maintaining, changing and sorting the plants, and then building that strawberry tower, which we didn't get to do in 2020. That's still the plan for this following year. Continuing with our plans for the apple folly. That will continue. There's nothing to change there except we still plan on putting either slabs or stepping stones along the hedge and between the garden and the shed. Okay, so there. Now, the vegetable garden has completely changed. The beds have changed. I've shown you that in the one video already in this early December. So that has changed, and I've done new drawings to show that for the plans for the garden that we have done, and we're getting there. So I will keep you updated, and I'll keep changing the drawings as and when needed. So the plans are moving ahead nicely, and I did a very rough drawing of the idea for the strawberry towers, either side of a mirror with a water feature going to be put somewhere in the middle. That is the plan, because a garden should not be just productive but pretty as well. And that is our seating area. That's our outdoor room, so it has to be pretty as well. It has to be somewhere we want to sit, that we feel relaxed in, something special. That's the garden bit. As to the rest of the homestead, well, I have, as usual, taken pen and paper, jotted down all sorts of reviewing, of course, the journal that has the things that have happened before, changing our plans and looking at like the business plan kind of thing, but including the personal stuff, which include ideas on all the hospital appointments and doctor's appointments, babysitting, all the usual personal stuff, the giving service, the looking after my spirituality, the home budgeting, the housework, shopping, cooking, baking, health and fitness, and all of those things. And those things, the personal stuff, is quite fluid because that will change around need and emergencies as they come up, and squeezing everything in and making it work. So that could change on a daily basis. But the homesteading bits, the work bits, can be more structured and more planned, with us staying flexible enough to change and alter things where we need to, just as we've done this year. So some projects have moved forward to the following year because they're just impossible to achieve this year. But I've separated everything as per usual into 4 categories between the garden and nature in our homestead area. The business being the business plan for the crafts, the writing, the merchandising, and then also involving the normal tasks of the bookkeeping, the red tape, budgeting, social media, and everything to do with that. And all of these things to go around eco gardening, eco business, eco home. So the one tag, garden and nature, business, homemaking, which includes everything to do with the eco cleaning, the decor, the make, do and mend, upcycle, recycle, the wood burner and chimney maintenance, the food storage and managing that, including filling, rotating, using, and then all the preserving of the stuff that comes from the garden that we can't use fresh or keep, that we need to use through the winter months, and then of course emergency preparations. So those are the topics that I'll be splitting all the homesteading chores in, and that helps me to figure out what I'm doing with each. And then I go into each of those topics and I plan, okay, what are the to-dos? So I've got the garden to-dos, the back garden, front garden, all the to-dos for this year. And then once I've got all of that sorted, I can go to my calendar and plan the seasons and the months I plan on doing what task in. And the same for the house. All the chores need to be done in the house. I separate those into categories of lounge, kitchen, bathroom, back room, front room, and hallway and stairs. And so that's all the stuff indoors. So, okay, so there's garden and indoors, all planned, and then the same thing. And then I've got my writing schedule and plans for the book series that I need to do, and that's a number of series, the courses I want to create, the free PDFs that I want to give away at times, and when I'm going to do that through the year, and then planning blogs. What else was there? There was the blogs. I've got that in the writing section. So that will go with that. And then I've got all the crafts that he will do, all the crafts that I will do on the things we plan on doing. There's quite a few new things that we've never done before that we plan on doing in the coming year. So that's very exciting. We have new things to try out, to build up stocks and stores ready for when we are prepared again to start with the Christmas fairs again, because that is all we do, the Christmas fairs and personal orders when they come in. So, I mean, obviously we haven't done any since last year, 2019, and that was still, I considered those first 3 years as just once a year for those 3 years, just to test the market, to see how things work, and gaining experience and learning on the things I need to consider, which I've written down actually in the craft section, the things to consider that I have learned from them as far as all the admin goes, the bookkeeping, the managing all this, the usual running, the administrative side of running a business, which wasn't really a business. It was still just testing the market and gathering ideas on the marketing, the selling, the bookkeeping, the stationery, the planning, the budgeting, all things like that were really useful, and they are now coming into fruition for me to plan better, to know what we're going to be doing. So there you are. And as far as the crafts goes, we're going to be doing the usual wood crafts, which he's going to do most of with the making, and I'll still do the painting and finishing of either turned items. There'll be much fewer whittling, because obviously he's had to adapt with his hands, not being able to work the way they used to anymore. So we'll still be doing a few of the whittled items, but mostly turning, because he can still just about manage that very slowly. So we're doing the turned items. Some of the whittling stuff will be including clay stuff, which he will help with occasionally as well as and when he can, and anything else to do with crafting, whatever that may be, mostly fabrics for me. So fabrics, clay, and we will this year be amalgamating the Whittler in the garden into Blue Garden Cottage to make life simpler and easier to manage. So that's some of the plans for this year, so that there's less bits here, there, and everywhere in chaos. We're simplifying, and that is the plan for this year. To be able to move forward, I think we need to simplify a lot. So I've got those plans ready there. So it's personal, homesteading as far as garden and home goes, writing and crafting. And of course, then I have my formula written down for my Kanban board and my calendar. And then on top of that, to wrap it all up, is the social media plans to do with the YouTube channel, as in here. So I've written down my formula for structuring of videos, for scheduling of topics, which will run in line with all of those 4 topics that I've chosen for the homesteading. And I hope that in doing this, we will be able to start giving you a better picture of what we do, because it might have seemed up to now to be so disjointed between so many different things that we do, but they are all connected. It's what you do in a homestead, which could be any setting, from a city apartment to a suburban home and garden to a small holding or a farm. Homesteading is what you do on the land, and the house connected with the land, and the business that you do connected with both in a whole, as far as the homely crafts and growing goes. And all of the things that we do, whether it be the writing or the crafting and stuff, like the writing especially, is to do with what we do here between the garden and our home. So it is, on a technicality, a homesteading cottage, as I've said before. Even considering, I mean, we don't have blinkers on. This year is going to be a challenge, but all new things, all new times, all change comes with challenges, but they can be exciting. So at the end of this year, saying goodbye to this year and beginning a new one, I hope that not just New Year's resolutions, but plans and hopes and dreams move forward in a very new way for you and for us, and that this coming year be one that is full of possibilities and hope and resilience to be able to weather whatever gets thrown at us, no matter what, and still be able to keep going. That is my wish for you for 2021, for you to dare to dream, to put your plans in action and go with it. Let's start afresh with positivity, not with blinkers, but hope and positivity. Goodbye 2020 and hello 2021. Have a happy new year, a healthy one, a prosperous one, and a love-filled happy new year. Don't forget, if there's been anything of any worth for you in this video, do like. If you haven't already done so, do subscribe and click that notification bell so that every time I post a video, you'll be able to get notified that it's done and it's up and ready. Don't forget, I do enjoy and I do appreciate your comments as well. Thank you so much for supporting this channel by your views, your shares, your comments, and supporting me in the things that I'm trying to do. Thank you for even bothering to watch my videos. Your time is precious. I am sure you have plenty of other better things to do, yet here you are. So thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope I could keep improving and making things more watchable for you. I shall speak to you again in another week when everything starts afresh. Take care, folks. Happy New Year again. Bye-bye.